do a workshop, a sort of just general introduction to Canvas workshop. So this is going to be a very quick overview of Canvas, what it can do for you. And yeah, we're not going to get necessarily into every single tiny detail of Canvas just because we don't have enough time to. But hopefully today will give you a broad enough overview to at least get you started doing some features and start putting some content and assignments and things into Canvas. All right, so if you have any questions during the workshop, you can raise your hand or you can type your question into the chat box, and I'm going to pause periodically and kind of check in to see what's going on and answer any of the questions that you might have. So today's kind of agenda of what we're going to cover, I'm going to start off with some sort of administrative aspects of Canvas, getting into your account and setting it up and looking at some of those different tools. Then we will dive into a course and take a look at what a course looks like, what are the different tools available to you within a course, and kind of how to set some of those up and get them started. Yeah, so we can go ahead and dive in. So Canvas is an LMS. It is learning management system. Basically, the types of things it can do for you is organize and share your course content. So you can put all your readings and homework up on Canvas. You can share syllabus, that sort of thing. It can help you communicate with your students. You've got a couple tools to do that. It can help you assess your students' work. There are different kinds of graded assessments you can create within the Canvas system, and it can help you grade all of your grading. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. You can do all of the different things, all the different tasks required of running a course through Canvas. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to cover today. To log into Canvas, the web address is canvas.american.edu. And you will log in with your regular username and password that you use for all AU things. If you notice when you log in that the web address changes, don't panic. Instructure is just the company that creates Canvas. So if you see Instructure, that's still Canvas. All right. This is sort of the home page of Canvas. When you log in, you'll see different course tiles here on your dashboard. The dashboard is sort of the landing page. It is also a little bit like a home. So if you're ever kind of moving around within Canvas and you need to get back to the dashboard, you can always end up back here. You will have courses divided into published courses and unpublished courses. The publishing and unpublishing thing in Canvas is essentially just making it visible to students. So your courses will all start out under the unpublished area. And this is for you to kind of take that time to create your course, build out some of the course content, get it all ready for students to see. And then when you are ready to publish the course or to make it visible to your students, you can click on the publish button that appears, you'll see on all of these unpublished courses. And then it will move up to the top, the published course area. And then your students can see it when it's published. So we're going to start with, in terms of navigating Canvas and sort of getting your Canvas account set up and getting introduced to some of the tools, we're going to start with this blue bar on the left-hand side. So this blue bar is called the Global Navigation bar in Canvas. It's called Global Navigation because it's always there. Pretty much no matter where you are navigating to within the Canvas system, this blue bar will always be on that left-hand side ready for you. There are a couple buttons and tools on here that you may find useful. We're going to start up at the top with the Account button. If you click on that, it pops out a bunch of links, but you don't really necessarily need to worry about all of these links. The ones that will be most useful to you to get started and get your Canvas all ready to go are notifications, profile, and settings. We'll start with notifications. The notifications is where you can turn on email alerts when certain things happen in your Canvas courses. There are some things that are turned on by default. You can turn them off if you choose, if you find you're getting too many email notifications from Canvas, or you can turn on things that you may not be currently getting email alerts for that you would like email alerts for. So all of that can be done on this notifications page in your account. You can see here, there's all types of different things that you can toggle on and off. So you can completely customize when you're getting those email alerts for what actions and how often. One thing that a lot of faculty members like to turn on that is not turned on by default is the announcement created by you. So this will send you an email copy of the announcement that you post in your courses, in any course. So the notifications that you set here will apply to all your courses. And so that might be something that you would like to turn on. So over here on the right-hand side, anything with a slash through it that is gray means it's currently turned off. To turn it on, I click the icon, and then I can choose how often I want to receive that email communication. I can get an immediate email when I create an announcement. I can do a daily summary, which comes in the evening, I want to say maybe around 5 or 6 p.m. A weekly summary is also an option, so that you just kind of get one lump. You would get one email with all of the announcements you've created lumped together at the end of the week, or you can leave it off is also an option. So we can turn that on, for example, to notify immediately. If I would like to turn something else off, I do the same thing. Any of these green items is currently turned on. I can go ahead and turn that off if I choose. Everything you do in here is automatically saved, so I don't need to do anything else. Now my different notifications are set. One unique thing about Canvas is that students can also come in here and adjust their own notification preferences. So this is something that a lot of faculty members are not really enthralled by. But I will say the default settings are that students will receive an email notification when you send them an email through Canvas or when you create an announcement. So if some of the students either haven't figured out how to adjust these notifications or just don't care and have never done it or changed it, they will by default get a lot of those email notifications. They have to manually come and turn them off. All right, the next setting or the next area within your account is your profile. So here's just some basic information about you, and you can edit all of this. So I can edit my picture. If I go over here, there's a small 3 dots menu. You can click that and click on edit profile. And so I can change my name, the way it's displayed. I can add pronouns. I can add a title if I want people to call me something. I can add a bio about myself, and I can add certain links. So maybe I want to link out to a personal website or link out to maybe I have a book coming out and I want to share that with people. I can add these links here by editing my profile. And then in the settings, you probably don't really need to do much in here, but I just like to point this out to folks that you might want to check your time zone. In Canvas, everything is adjusted by time zone. And so if your account is set to a different time zone than where you're currently at, it is going to change the different due dates and things like that that you input based on where your students are at. So for example, when I first logged into my Canvas account, I was in Mountain Time. So I came in here and I used this edit settings button to change it to Eastern, just so I make sure that I have the correct time zone for where I'm currently at. So that's about it for the account area. Again, there are other things going on in here, but just to get you started, notifications, profile, and settings will go a long way towards getting your account set up the way that you like it. The next button on the blue global navigation bar is the dashboard. That will always take you back to this sort of login page with the list of all your courses. You can also see just a list. So if you don't like this tile view, you can also, if you click on courses, get a list of all of the links to your course this way as well. One important area of the courses button is this all courses. It is a link to all of your courses. It's located at the bottom of this kind of pop-out menu that appears. The reason this is an important place to remember is because some of your courses you'll find as you use Canvas for a long time, they disappear off this dashboard automatically. So for instance, at the end of the fall semester, your fall semester courses will disappear off the dashboard and be replaced with your spring semester courses. This doesn't mean you've been enrolled or that your course has been deleted. It's still there. It's just not on your dashboard anymore. So you can access old past courses by clicking on this courses button in the navigation bar and then the all courses link. And if you scroll down, here is where you can view past enrollments. You probably won't have any right now if you haven't been using Canvas for a long time, but you may have some maybe from last summer or last spring listed in here. So you can see your past enrollments there and access everything, go in and see your course content or your grade book and all that. It's all still saved. There is also one more thing you might want to use this page for, this all courses list, is to favorite some of your courses. So by favoriting a course, you're essentially turning one of these little stars orange. You just click to favorite or unfavorite something. And what you're doing by favoriting it is it will always appear on your dashboard and it will never move unless you come in again and manually delete it out of your favorites. So I use it mostly because I don't have a lot of active enrollments in my particular account. I use it to just customize what I would like to see on my dashboard. And I can always come in here and change it if I change my mind. The next tool on this global navigation bar is the course calendar. The calendar is a really neat feature, and it is independent, or not independent of, it's sort of inclusive of all of your courses all at one time. And same with the students. So the students have this same blue bar and they can click on this calendar tool and see all of the due dates and appointments and things that they have for all of their courses at once. You can see here, so this is the month of August. I've got a bunch of different appointments. The ones that look like they have a little calendar icon, those are meeting times or different appointments. Anything that looks like it has a pencil, like a piece of paper and a pencil, that icon indicates an assignment that is due. And then if I had any like quizzes, it would have a little rocket ship icon and then a discussion. You can see, oh, here, I do have a quiz. I added that this morning in a different workshop. So I have a quiz and a discussion. So all of these have their own little icons on this calendar to indicate to students what it actually is. Students can come in and customize their view. So they can add or delete some of the courses, and everything is color coded so that they know what different appointments or assignments correspond with which course. You don't have to do anything special to get your different assignments to show up on this page. Anything that you create that is dated, so that has an assigned due date and time, will appear here on the calendar automatically. There's nothing extra that you need to do or anything special that you need to do. So students can come here, they can come, all right, they see they have 3 different assignments due on Saturday. And one neat feature of the calendar tool is they can just click on the title of a certain assignment, click on the link, and they're taken directly to the right course and directly to the submission page for that particular assignment. So I think that's a really neat feature. They can kind of use this tool to just get immediate access to the things they need to do when they need to do it. All right, the next button down on the list is the inbox tool. This is your email feature in Canvas. It's called Inbox. Sort of a unique feature about the Canvas inbox versus Blackboard inbox. In Blackboard, the send email link was embedded in certain courses. You had to go into your course to see it. In Canvas, it is always here on this blue global navigation bar. So it is an inbox or email tool for all of your courses at once. You get a history of different messages that have been shown, or not been shown, been sent. They are shown here on this left-hand side. So you can kind of get a record of conversations that have happened between you and particular students. And then over here on the top, there is the compose a new message button. Looks like a little pencil. This is how or where you will choose what course you want to send your email to, and then select the people that you want to address your email to. So first I picked my course. Favorite courses, again, if I had gone into my all courses area that I showed you guys before with the little stars, anything I have favorited will now also appear in my inbox tool as a favorite course. And there's also the other courses here too. If your list gets very long, you can search for a particular course title here in the search bar. So I'm going to choose this course. And then in the to area, there is a small address book. If I click on that, I can address or choose who I want to send my email to. Let's choose this one because I think it has teachers and students in it. There we go. So you'll see I have an option. My first option is just to email everybody in there. The next option is to see who are listed as the teachers, and I can choose everybody who has the role of teacher, or I can choose some individuals. And same with students. When I click on students, I can email everybody who is a student in this course or choose individuals. So you can kind of tailor your message to who exactly you want to send it to. And the rest of the email compose message tool looks like a regular email. You have a subject line, you have the space to type out your message, and you can even add attachments here. You can attach files, or if you wanted, you can record right in the Canvas system a video or audio comment if you wanted to include that in your message. All right, well, I'm not going to send that, but you would send it if you were going to do that. All right, I see some questions in the chat. I will get to them in just a second. I just want to show you the last thing that I've got here on this global navigation bar that is good for beginners, which is the help button at the bottom. So when I click on help, it pops out a little menu here with all of the different resources that are available to you to get started or to get some assistance with using Canvas. The very first thing is the Canvas guides. These are a fantastic tool for pretty much any question that you could possibly have. I'll send you the direct link to this Canvas instructor guide because I know that was a lot of clicks to get there. But you can take that link and save it or bookmark it in some way so that you can get direct access to this instructor guide. What the instructor guide this is published by Canvas, by the instructor company. And they have taken pretty much any question you can think of regarding basic Canvas functionality and created a how-to guide for it. And each of their guides has step-by-step instructions, and it has screenshots so you can follow along and replicate exactly what you're trying to do. So for example, I am curious about how to create an assignment in Canvas. So I can click on assignments and then find the question that I have. So here we've got one, how do I create an assignment? And here you can see you've got your pictures, you've got, instructions 1 and 2, all of these different typed out instructions as well. So this is a really good place that you can check out to get some guidance on how to do some certain things in Canvas. We also have the Faculty Learning Support Services portal. This is published by AU, so this is something that our team has created. I'll put this in the chat as well. And so here you can see there is a button for Canvas, and we have a similar kind of, FAQ thing going on here. So you look for the thing that you would like to do. They are organized as how do I type questions. And then you just can click on one and you get some information about how to do that particular thing. So those are two good options available to you to get started. You also have the opportunity to chat with somebody from Canvas. So you can open up the chat support and talk to somebody. They are available 24/7. So even if it's, 2 in the morning, you're a night owl and you need help, they are available for immediate quick assistance. You can also call the Canvas support hotline. Here is a number. And then during normal business hours, so our office is open from 9 to 5:30. You can contact the AU support team either by email or by phone number, both of which are listed here. And that is an AU person. The other options are somebody who works for Canvas. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second to see if anybody has any questions about any of the things I just showed on that global navigation bar. I do see that there are some in the chat, so I'm going to quick read through those, but feel free to type your question in, or if you want to raise your hand, I can answer your questions too. All right, so there were a couple questions about the calendar tool. To make the calendar work, do we have to create the assignments in Canvas? Yes, so you do have to create assignments, and they have to be dated. They have to have an assigned due date. So if you create an assignment, but it doesn't have an assigned due date, it won't show up in the calendar. So there was another comment here about I created these assignments, they're not showing up on the calendar. That might be the problem if they don't have an assigned due date. Or another thing that might be happening is that maybe that particular course is not turned on. So anything grayed out over here on the right-hand side, that those assignments won't show up in the calendar. So I would check those two things to see whether it has an assigned due date and see whether the course is kind of toggled on for view. Maya, thank you for pointing that out. That was something that I forgot to mention about the inbox tool. You cannot email students through or in a particular course until that course is published. So if you go into the Canvas inbox and you select that course, it's going to tell you that it doesn't have any students in it, even though it does. So first, you're going to want to publish your course so that you can use that inbox tool and email everybody. If the course isn't ready yet, a workaround could be to publish the course and then just hide some of the course content that's not currently ready for students to see. And so if they came in, they wouldn't see anything that's still a work in progress. All right. So we can review how to publish a course real quick. And then Trisha, your question about the homepage, I'll get to the homepage in just a bit. Do that next. All right. So the publishing thing in Canvas, everything in Canvas has to do with publishing. It's kind of a weird mental shift coming from Blackboard previously, or perhaps other learning systems. But everything in Canvas has to be published before it's viewable by a student. When you first log into your dashboard, your courses will be published or unpublished. And if they are unpublished, that means students can't see them. So if you log into your Canvas and you're trying to maybe email your students or tell them that the course site is ready and they should go see it, you do want to make sure that it is published first and that it appears up underneath this published courses header. To publish a course, there are a couple different ways. An easy one is just to click the publish button that is appearing on each of these tiles for the unpublished courses that I have. If I click on publish, it will move that particular course. forget which one I did. I think it was a spring one. Well, it should move that up to the top here. I've got a lot going on here. Refresh. Okay, there we go. So that is the new one. So now I have 19 published courses instead of 18. So I did have to refresh to see that and might not be immediate, but it will publish the course once you click the publish button. All right, any other questions about any of the items on that blue global navigation? I don't think I see any new ones in the chat. All right, so I will go ahead and move on. We will move into a course now and take a look at kind of what's going on in a course. So I'm just going to use my sandbox to show you. So to get into the course, I'm going to click on the title. And so this is what the Canvas course looks like. The default setting for a homepage is modules. So the modules page is sort of the space where all of your content lives and where you can share the different content, homework and videos and whatever you need to share with your students can be shared in modules. We'll get into the details of modules in a bit. So that's the default homepage. You can also change the homepage if you wanted. There is a button over here on the right-hand side to choose homepage, and you can adjust what the landing page for your particular course is going to be. You can choose the activity stream, which is sort of a list of different activities and things that have been happening inside the course. I guess if I choose that, we can see what that looks like. So this is what the activity stream would look like. So there are 17 different notifications and a new discussion that have been created. I can also choose a page to be my home page. So now the landing page for my course is this home page that I can edit and put different images or information that's important to my course. I can also make my the modules was the default. I can make an assignments list the homepage so that students are taken directly to the list of graded work for the course. And I can choose my syllabus. So students will go to my syllabus page and see the information that I have put in there about my syllabus. So those are all the different options. I'm going to switch it back to course modules just for now, because that's going to mimic most of what you guys will see when you log in first. All right. So a quick note about the navigation menu for your course on the left here. This is a different navigation than the global navigation, right? So that blue bar is still here now that we're in a course, but now I have all of these links that will help me navigate within this particular course that I'm currently in. You don't have a ton of control over this left-hand navigation menu, not as much as you had available to you in Blackboard. What you can do here with this left-hand menu in your course is you can rearrange these items. You can hide some of them so that they won't be visible to students. So down at the bottom here, you can see I've hidden some of these from my students. And that's about it. So you can rearrange and you can hide or show certain items. You cannot add new things and you can't rename any of these. So if I wanted to like rename my assignments to something else, I can't rename that. So you're kind of limited in your structure of the course. They have done this so that every course is the same. For all students, they're going to log in. They're going to say, okay, my assignments are found in assignments. My content is found in modules. My quizzes are in quizzes, etc. To change that menu, to adjust it to the way you want it to be for your course, you go to the settings. The settings link will always be at the very bottom of this left-hand navigation menu for your course. And to change that navigation menu, there's the third tab over. And I can move these different things around. So there are kind of two chunks to this page. The top is what will be visible to your students, and the bottom is what is disabled and will be hidden from your students. You can see here, each of these has a quick note, a little note here that it's disabled and it will not be visible. To move these around, I just click and drag. And if I want to hide something, maybe I'm not planning to use this attendance tool, I just drag it down to the bottom half of the page, and now it does say it is disabled. Likewise, if I want to move something up, maybe I do want to use the chat tool, I can click that and move it up. So you do have some customization options here available to you. You can set it the way that you would like it to be, and then click on save at the bottom of the page when you're done. And so now you can see I've got this new chat that I moved up, and the attendance link is gone. All right, somebody had a question in the chat about putting a picture for their course, like on their tile. You can also do that from the settings area of your course. If you go to course details, you can choose an image for your course. You can either upload your own, or you can use our link with this Unsplash company. So these are free images that are available to use for your courses. You can search for a certain thing, and then you can choose whatever you like. And then again, at the bottom, save your changes. And now, real quick, if I go to the dashboard, you'll see my sandbox has an image on the tile. It's a little counterintuitive because you have to go into the course to change it. You can't just change it from this dashboard page. You could change the color, but you can't add a picture from there. Let me see what other questions we have in here. So somebody asked, when you publish a course, does it automatically publish everything in the course? And that is, the answer is no to that. I can show you when we get into the details of modules, kind of how to unpublish just some things in your course. And then another question about the pages. Yeah, setting a home page, a front page for your course is a little bit of a complicated process, but I can show you guys if we have time at the end. If not, Trisha, if you can stay on, I can maybe cover it after we're done. All right, so that's sort of how to change some of the settings of your course. I am going to start talking about some of the tools that are available in your course in terms of two different groups. So first, we will talk about how to share information, so different tools that are good for sharing information to your students. And then after that, I will talk about different ways to assess your students' work. So the first chunk, we'll talk about announcements, the syllabus page, and modules. So that these are just tools available to you to share things with your students. And then later we'll talk about discussions, quizzes, and assignments. So I'll start with announcements just because they're easy and the syllabus is pretty easy, and then we'll get into modules, which is a little bit more detailed. So the announcements link, every course has one. It should be right here up at the top, but if you don't see it, remember you can change that in the settings. It looks like this. So when students come in and click on the announcements, they will see the different announcements that you've created here. The newest ones will be up at the top of the list, and then they kind of get bumped down as you create new announcements. And all they need to do to click on or to view the full announcement is click on the title of it, and they'll see the whole text. They'll see any attachments you put in or whatever it is. To create a new announcement, you're looking for a blue button that says Add Announcement. And so it's really nice and easy. You name your announcement something, and then in the middle here, you have a text box, and the text box has an associated toolbar. And this toolbar is a great feature because it lets you be as creative as you want to be with anything that you publish in your Canvas course. So with announcements, discussions, videos, content like pages and things for your modules, all of those will have this same text box with the toolbar across the top. And with this toolbar, you can do almost anything that you would like to do. You can make your font different sizes, you can bold it, you can change the color of your font. You can add hyperlinks with this little link button, images, media like video or music, and documents. The one that looks like a page is the documents. You can also embed Kaltura videos. So if you have created a video with Kaltura, you've got this button right quick and easy to put your video into this space. And you can do bullet points and tables and mathematical formulas and anything else you might like to do. So you can be, again, as I said, as creative as you want to be with your announcement and how you would like to share information to your students. The default is that the announcement will go to all the sections in your course. If you have different sections and maybe you only want to send this to one of them, you can differentiate here and you would have a list of different sections that appears. I don't have any other sections in this course, but if I did, they would show up here and I could choose one or the other. I can add attachments and I can schedule my announcements. So say I want this to come out right for the first day of class on Sunday. I can schedule this so that this announcement won't post until that date, which is kind of nice, you know, if you don't maybe have time to go in on a certain day or you don't want to have to remember, you can kind of schedule ahead there. And you can also allow liking if you want. Students can come in and like your particular announcement, similar to Facebook or something. And then I click on save when I am all finished creating my announcement. Okay. Well, I don't know why it's not saving, but let's try cancel. Maybe it was because I didn't type anything in there. If you would like to delete any of your announcements, there's a box up to the left of each of those, and there's a tiny little trash can up here. So if you make an announcement, or maybe if you've imported course content over from Blackboard, it probably imported all of those extra announcements also that might not apply to this semester. So you could go in, check these boxes, and delete them. We'll move on to the syllabus. So the syllabus area in your course is essentially designed as a place to share your syllabus with your students. So if I click on the edit button here, I can edit what I have shared here with the students. So this is going to look different than yours will the first time you come in, because I've added some things in here. I've added different links to information for the students. But what you can put here is up to you. So some people just like to link their syllabus file, and that's totally fine. Students can open it as a preview or download it. Some people like to copy the information out of their syllabus and paste it in here so it displays right on the web page, and that's totally fine too. You can see here I have like a combination of that as a demo. I'm going to break this link real quick. So I will show you real quick how to link your syllabus file. So here I have a little pre-populated sentence that is basically telling students to click on this link to download their syllabus file. And I'll highlight that once I've created my sentence that I want to convert into a link, and I'm going to click on the documents button, which looks like a piece of paper. I'll click in this area. So you can do a couple things. You can drag into this box. You can drag your file into there. Or if I don't have any files open on my computer yet, I can click on this and it will open up a prompt here. Just throw that in there. I submit. It doesn't, this looks like it might be a progress bar to upload it, but it's not. So basically the second you click and choose your file, you can go ahead and click on submit. Sometimes, like right now, it does this instead of overwriting the text that I have put in here. So what you can do is, there's a couple things, but probably the easiest is you click on the link, click link options, and then I can rename this over here. I haven't been able to figure out when it does that or doesn't do that, unfortunately, but sometimes it does. So now this will be a clickable link where students can open up the file that I have and they can download it as well. I'm going to click on update. And so now you can see here, it's linked this document. I didn't have a sample syllabus, but yours will be the syllabus. Other neat things on this page, there is a mini course calendar over here that shades in dates when there are assignments or appointments. So this week, the 16th, I made a bunch of Zoom meeting links, so that's why those are shaded in. And then we saw earlier on the calendar tool, there's a bunch of assignments due on Saturday, left over from a demo I did earlier this morning. If you scroll down underneath any information that you have pasted into the syllabus box, there is a course summary. And so this is a nice area where you can get kind of a display of all of the things that are due in the course. And this is organized by due date. So these are the different due dates I had in the course. And you can see here, these are my Zoom meeting appointments. They're also listed there. It's kind of similar to the Canvas tool in that anything that has an assigned due date will show up in this course summary. Things that don't have a due date will also show up. They're just kind of clumped together at the bottom because Canvas doesn't necessarily have the information it needs to tell the student in what order to do those things. If you don't like that, you do have the option to turn it off. So there is a little button to check down here on the edit page to get rid of that course summary. So some people like it, some people don't. If you would like to delete it, again, just click on edit on your syllabus page and uncheck that box. All right, the next thing we'll talk about is modules. The modules area of Canvas is designed as a space for you to put all of your course content. So if you're used to Blackboard, you have that content link on the left-hand side. A lot of people put their content in there, or maybe you created your own links for week 1, week 2, or unit 1, unit 2. Since you can't do that in Canvas, the modules area is going to be your organizational space. You can create as many modules as you want. You can name your modules anything you want. So you can do week 1, week 2, week 3, if that is how you like to organize your course. You can do it sort of organizing certain file types together. So you could put a module that has all the readings. You could make a module that says quizzes and put all the quizzes in there. You can really organize this however you want. You have full flexibility over your modules page to organize it the way that you like. So you can see here the modules page in Canvas. The modules are sort of, they have their own header and they're boxed off a little bit from each other. So they're kind of visually differentiated from each other. One thing that takes some getting used to is that the content inside the modules doesn't automatically display on this modules page. So you put a bunch of things in your module, and then when students go in to interact with the content in that module, they will have to click into something first, and then they can progress through the module and do all of the required activities. So I'm going to delete this one for now, and we'll rebuild it. So you can see here, I've just made modules 1, 2, 3 for my purposes, but again, if you click on this plus module button, this blue button, you can name your module literally anything you would like to name. So I'll remake a lesson 1 module just for demo purposes. I name it something and I add the module. Because I already have content here, it is located now at the bottom of my page. If you don't have anything in here, it will be up at the top. But if you already have content, maybe imported from another course or something, your new modules, anything new you create will be located at the bottom. To move it, any of these modules, you can see they all have this, looks like an ice cube tray, this ice cube tray area to the left of the module name. Any of these modules can be moved around very easily. So I just click, hold, and move it around the way I would like. Same with this. If I wanted, for whatever reason, module 1 to be under module 2, I can move that down. They're very easy to move around and reorder the way that you like. All right, so I've got my module created. To add content to it, in the header for the module, there's this small plus sign. It's a little bit hard to see probably on the screen, but hopefully in your own computer screens when you're building, you can see that plus sign there. You can add almost anything to your module. There is a drop-down menu that appears in this pop-up that tells you all of the things, all of the options that you have for adding things to your module. You can add assignment links to your module. So the students will be progressing through the module's content, and it takes them directly to the submission page for the particular assignment. Same with the quizzes. You can link a quiz into a certain module so that when students are interacting with the module, it will take them to the page where they start their quiz. You can add files. So I can upload files directly from my computer into a module, and then students can see them on the screen or download them. And I can also create pages. Pages are sort of intended as a way to display information to your students. So a lot of people use pages to introduce the module. So maybe it's week 1 and you want to put a week 1 overview. You know, this week we're gonna be introduced to the class and we'll start our discussion about XYZ. A lot of people use pages to create to-do lists where you can kind of list out and display all of the assignments for the week or homework listed for the week. And people also use pages to display images or video files for students. There's not a lot of interaction that a student can do with a page. It essentially just displays the information for them. They can read it and then they'll move on to the next thing in the module. The discussion board, you can also link a discussion board directly into your modules and students can interact with it from there. Text headers are essentially just an organizational feature. Students can't interact with them in any way, but it kind of visually on this modules page differentiates some of the information within a module. I can show you in module 1, I have some, I can show you visually what that looks like. An external URL is essentially a link to another website outside of Canvas. So if you wanted to link a YouTube video or a certain website or maybe an article on, New York Times or something, you can add those links directly into your module. And then you can also link certain external tools. So we have a number of tools that are linked within Canvas, things like publisher content from a certain textbook company, things like VoiceThread or Perusal or Yellowdig, or a certain number of these tools can also get linked directly into a module. When you click on any of these, I'll click on pages, for example, it will give you a list of all the pages that already exist in your course. Or at the top, there is a create new thing. This create at the top of the list is visible or available for anything that you want to add to your module. So maybe I want to add an assignment, but I haven't created that assignment yet. I can do that right from this page. I want to make a quiz, but I don't want it to be any of these already created quizzes. I can make a new one. So that space up at the top will let you make something new. I'm going to create a sample page, my lesson 1 to-do list. And I just click this blue add item button to add it. So now I've got the start to my module. I'm going to just go through that process again and add in some other random items that I have for my first module. Just going to pick a quiz. I'll pick assignment. And I'll do a file. These ones that I'm adding in just quickly already exist in the course. That's why it went so fast. All right, so now I've got kind of a built out lesson 1. Someone in the chat at some point had been asking about content. If the course is published, is all the content published? So you can see here that this module, because it is grayed out and it has that circle with a slash through it, it is currently unpublished. So if I go into student view to sample what the student would see, they won't be able to see lesson 1. Okay, I actually apparently unpublished all of the modules, so students don't see any of the modules currently. So that is how you can kind of customize student view. If you're not ready to maybe publish everything in your course, but you do want to publish the course to let students in and start communicating with them, that is a way that you can kind of unpublish all the content. To unpublish a module, you only have to click unpublish in the header for it, and it will hide everything that is in that module. So you don't have to manually go through and click all of these things. To publish it, when I am ready, I'm just going to click that circle and change it into the check mark. And so now this particular module, I can tell it's published because it's green and I've got this green check mark for all of this content. So when I go back into student view, now my students can see this. And what they'll do is they'll come in, they click on something. If I had populated this out with the information, it would display here. And they click the next button and they essentially just go through all of the module content. They can do their quiz. They can submit an assignment. And they can view any files that I have attached here, or they can download them for their own purposes as well. All right, let me see. Somebody in the chat had asked about publishing courses and the availability of it. So when you publish a course now, students can come in, they can look at things, but they can't interact with the course. So Canvas considers interaction in terms of submitting things like doing a discussion board post, submitting an assignment, doing a survey, any of that sort of thing, they can't do until the start of the term. Although I think that we adjusted the start of the term to start this week, actually, because some faculty were requesting that. So I think the start of the term happened on Monday so that students can actually go in and interact with the course now once it's published. But in general, if you publish it, like you could have published it in May or something, right? But they won't really be able to do anything in the course besides look at it until the start of the course term. Somebody asked how to get to student view. So not every single page in Canvas has it, but most of them do. Up in the far upper right-hand corner, there's a little eyeglasses button that says student view. And how you know that you're in student view is it has this big pink bar across the bottom. So if you're ever trying to do something that tells you like you can't do that or you can't see something or access something, just double check that you're not still in student view. All right, anybody have any other questions about the kind of communication or sharing of information with students? So modules, syllabus, announcements. All right, I don't think I see any coming up. I don't see any hands raised. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to assessments in Canvas. The assessments in Canvas, I mentioned them before, but there are 3 different types. You can have graded discussion boards. You can have graded quizzes. And so Canvas just calls the tool quizzes, but you can use the quizzes tool to create larger tests and exams as well. Just, it's always called quizzes in Canvas, but you can make other types of exams there too. And then assignments, graded assignments. And the assignments are essentially submission links where students will submit a product to you. So their work, they can submit almost any type of file to you via an assignment. So I'll start with discussions because they're the easiest. We'll go into a little bit of detail about quizzes and then assignments. And if we have time, I can show you the grade book at the end. All of this, I'm not going to have time to get into full detail. But I will show you how to create a new one of all of these things enough to kind of get you with a basic understanding to get started. We'll start with discussions. The discussions area has 3 different sections. Pinned discussions, you can pin up at the top so that they always appear at the top. The other discussions will appear in the middle for regular discussions. And if you want to close any for comments so that students can't comment anymore on them, you can move them down to this close for comments area. To create a new discussion, there is our blue button, as always. So the plus discussion button. I will title it something. I can use this space in the toolbar again to create any kind of prompt that I want. I could put an image in here that students have to respond to. I can attach a file that I want them to read. I can make a video prompt, any of that sort of thing. And students in their discussion board replies will have this same toolbar. So you could create a video prompt and then request that all of your students also submit a video to you as their answer. Maybe you post an image and they have to share an image that they found or that they find meaningful or whatever it may be. Again, I can choose, same with the announcements, I can assign discussion boards to only one section if I have multiple sections in the same Canvas course, so that I can create different discussion board themes for everybody. I can add attachments if I want, and then I've got some options here. I would recommend allowing threaded replies. What it does is it essentially indents students' replies, so it makes it nice and visually easy to see who is responding to what conversation. You can also check this box that says users must post their own post before they see any replies. So essentially, they will see an empty discussion board forum until they post their own original response. So if you find that you're getting a lot of students just sort of saying the same stuff as everybody else, you could check that box, and then they kind of have to think of their own creative response first. You can allow liking, and you can add this to a student to-do list. That to-do list shows up on the corner of the home page in Canvas. And then you can also make your discussion graded. So you can have an ungraded discussion where it's just maybe part of class participation or something like that, or maybe as a prep for a class in-person discussion, something. Or you can also make a graded discussion if you check this box, and it will pop out with a couple other questions. It's essentially going to ask you, all right, you want it to be graded, how many points should it be? So you can type that in there. You can assign it to a certain assignment category. I'll show you on the assignments page how to set those up. So I can say, all right, this is going to be graded as a discussion. I can assign it to certain groups of people.